First of all, I want to start by thanking the Yankees organization and the new Era Pinstripe Bowl. We've had a fantastic week. It's been awesome. It's been first class from top to bottom, so thankful for that. Also would like to wish our Big Ten brothers best of luck in the bowl season. I think today's our first Big Ten bowl game, and I wish everybody the best of luck. Representing the Big Ten is a tremendous honor for us, and looking forward to it. So had a chance to interact with Coach Dazio and the BC staff and players, first class organization. Really excited about getting an opportunity to compete and play with them. But we've had a great week. We've had a great week from top to bottom. Look forward to getting out and playing the game, and want to again thank everybody for the opportunity.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Mark Holtzman and Randy Levine and the Yankees organization and New Era. The hospitality has been fantastic. You know, having had a great opportunity to be in some of these great bowls, I can't remember having a better week than this week. Going to the 9/11 Memorial, Christmas morning was about as unbelievable an experience as I think I've been around. Just going through and going back through that day and visiting where Wells Crowther's name was, and we put a red bandana kerchief there. It was very moving, very emotional day we spent yesterday, something I'll remember and our team will remember for the rest of their lives. Those kinds of experiences are what make bowls great and what make this bowl one of the very best. So we couldn't be more grateful for having an opportunity to be here. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart to everybody involved. Our kids have had a tremendous experience, one that will last them forever. They've been mesmerized by everything they've been able to be a part of. You know, certainly nothing less than going to the Rockettes last night, which is something I've never done either. So just fantastic. What a great reward for them. You know, as James said, you know, we're really rooting for our ACC members. You get a chance, you know, we play against each other, but you get a chance to have some great conference pride this time of year, which is special. And just, you know, as we shift towards this game, I can't help but you know, as much fun as you're having, you know, your mood starts to change and your demeanor starts to change because it's time to get ready to, what we all came down here for, play a major college football game and get a win. Boston College, Penn State, we're all the same. You know, battling, we're practicing, and we have a great showcase here for our program. So, thank you.
I think, you know, obviously having an opportunity to get back in bowl games through an NCAA perspective, but also through a competitive perspective has been very important for us moving forward. The extra practices that everybody talks about, the expectations, I think those are very important. I think you know, the emotions really for us isn't necessarily about the bowl, it's just about our family being together. The 2014 football team will never be together again after this game. We've talked about that all week long. To me, that's what's special about bowl games, is being able to keep the family together, you know, for a few more months, whatever it may be. So we've had a great experience. Guys have been really good. Just like Coach was talking about, an opportunity to go out and represent Penn State the right way, play the way we're capable of playing, and finish on a real positive note. You know, all the members of the teams will get bowl rings, but there's something special about being able to put on that ring, bowl champions. You know, they're going to look down and see that ring, whether it's on their finger or in a display case for the rest of their life. And you want to end on a real positive note. For us, you know, probably a little bit more significant in terms of sending these seniors out that have been through so much in their careers, and sending them out on a real positive note and laying the foundation for the expectation moving forward. So, you know, really proud of our guys, and thankful for an opportunity to be here.
Winning the bowl, for us it'd be our 8th win. Last year we got to a bowl. We've had great preparation for this bowl. And I think there's a little different focus on this team this year, which there should be in the natural progression. The goal was to get to a bowl a year ago. That's certainly not the goal right now to get there. We're here. The goal is to win a bowl and to grow from here. As James said, that these are, when you get beyond the great experience and you get beyond the reward of a bowl game, they're also launching pads, they're momentum builders. And I think the kids really understand that significance. And I've been really pleased with our preparation. I really like the way our team went about getting ready for this game, the intensity of the practices, and your hope as a coach is that that'll parlay into, playing at a high level. And that's your hope. And all you can do is prepare as hard as you can and feel good about that preparation. Then let it roll here, 4:30 on Saturday. As we all know, there's events that shape that game one way or the other.
I looked at their season and how it went, the success that they were able to have on offense and moving the ball. One of the biggest differences between, I think, our two programs right now is they had 5 starting graduated seniors on the offensive line with over, I think, 140 starts. And I think coming into the season, we had 1 returning starter with 20 starts. So that was one of the biggest differences that I noticed right away, and that's going to be a tremendous challenge for our defensive line. Fortunately for us, our defense has played well this year. Our defensive line has played extremely well. Stopping the run has been something we've done a good job of. We've talked about that all week long with our defense, and specifically with our defensive line. It's going to be a tremendous challenge. You got a group of men that have been playing together for a long time, got a lot of experience. So I think that's going to be a real focal point of the game, their O-line versus our D-line. I think it's going to be an interesting battle to watch all day long and a tremendous challenge for both sides.
We have our challenge there. We've got to be able to play well in the coverage. We've got to be able to create pressure, whether it be 4-man, 5-man, 6-man pressures, and disrupt the flow of that throw game. But really have a lot of respect for Christian and the way he plays, and he's an outstanding player.
It's a two-headed monster in a lot of ways, and what I mean by that is with the offensive line that they have and the running backs that they have, and then the style that they play with, that they're always trying to either outnumber you, outflank you, or out-leverage you through formations and personnel groups. And they're running a lot of read plays. So if you overcompensate to try to stop the running back, then the quarterback has a chance to pull it and get on the edge, and he's a threat. He's a legitimate threat, and that's going to be a real challenge for us. I don't think there's been really anybody that's been able to stop both of those things this year for them. The traditional running plays with the running back carrying the ball, or the quarterback. One or the other, if not both, have hurt people all year long. So it's a tremendous challenge for our guys. Guys are excited for the opportunity. I think the other thing that goes hand in hand with that is they've done a great job with ball security and time of possession, and those things go hand in hand. So that's something that we're obviously very aware of, and are going to need to do a good job of it. No. Yeah, honestly, I mean, all we're trying to do is put our players and our program in the best position to be successful. So, we're not going to do anything like that to just pay honor to those guys or ceremonial type things. We're here to win a game. And at Penn State, we're always going to play the guys that give us the best chance to do that, which I know Coach Dazio probably feels the same way. So much respect for those guys, but we're trying to prepare our guys for life as well. And in life, you're going to have to earn the things that you get. And we want our guys to do the same thing every single day in practice, every single day in games, in the classroom, and everything they do. So we won't do anything different than that, but to allow our guys an opportunity to compete with the best guys on the field and give them an opportunity to go out and be successful. So I do think there's a little bit of a reward that is a bowl game, but at the end of the day, it's another opportunity to go out and compete and play together as a family. No, it's just, I think it's just unique and it's just different. I mean, you think about Penn State, you think about the history, you think about the traditions, you think about all the success. So to think about that we have 5 classes in our program, most of which have not even been in a bowl game, let alone none that have won a bowl game. You know, you look at the records against Boston College. I think in our last 3 games, you know, Boston College has had some success, you know, over the history. So I think, you know, leaning on the staff, we have a staff that's been together for 4 years now for the most part, and have had some success in these types of games. Learning from experiences that the guys have had in the past, things that didn't work for them or didn't go well. And what I always just try to do is just try to be very open and honest and upfront and discuss these things. And then what are we going to do to make sure that, you know, these things don't hurt us moving forward? What did we learn from past experiences? You know, what are we going to do to make sure we're putting our guys in position to be successful, that we have the right balance of having a great bowl experience without losing perspective of what we're here to do. So, you know, we just try to be very open and honest and direct with our guys and talk about, you know, what are we going to have to do to put ourselves in position to be successful come game day. Yeah, you know, I think both of us, we've been in this industry a long time, that we know each other well. Frank Leonard is one of my closest friends. We used to carpool and drive to work every single day together when we were at Kansas State. Don Brown, another good friend who we worked together at the University of Maryland, had a lot of success. You know, Kevin Lempa, I also worked with at the University of Maryland. Those guys have been coaching and being successful for a long time. So we do have some background, some familiarity there, but they do as well. So I think that's going to be an interesting chess match to watch during the game. But they do a great job. I mean, Don's, you know, a guy that I would put into the chaos category. I mean, he's bringing people from all different angles, all different looks, all different personnel groupings. I think he believes strongly in trying to confuse offensive lines. You know, I know he's a big believer that most college offensive lines can't handle movement, so you're going to get a lot of movement, you're going to get a lot of pressure. They're going to try to confuse the decision maker, the quarterback, and he's done a great job of that. You know, they're aggressive on the perimeter with their defensive backs because they know typically the quarterback's not going to be able to hold the ball very long, and they take all the short throws away. He's got a great scheme and does a great job. So, you know, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to competing against him, and tremendous respect for Coach Adazio and his entire staff that he's put together. I think it's competition, and what I mean by that is you know, it's not just the depth that you have on game day, but it's the depth and the competition that you have at practice every single day. You know, Miles Diefenbach was telling me the other day at practice, you know, when he showed up to Penn State, he was 15. You know, Miles was a pretty highly recruited guy. He was 15, and he stood there all year long and really never got a rep and watched. And, you know, now we're in a position where the freshmen show up and they, you know, on the offensive line, they were second team from the day they walked on campus. Fortunately, we were able to redshirt those guys and save their year, but I think that's the biggest difference. We're trying to create the most competitive environment we possibly can in the country, and that's not just on game days, but that's in practice every single day, not only the O-line competing against the D-line, but competing with each other at your position every single day. That you know you got a guy behind you that's trying to take your job every single day. Competing in the weight room, you know, competing in winter workouts, competing in the classroom, competing in everything you do. That's why I was a little upset today when I came out here and Coach Adazio had beat me out here because we try to compete in everything we do. And he beat me out to the stage. So I think that's probably the biggest thing is it shows up on game day, and I think the fans and the media and all those people see those things on game day, but it really has a bigger effect than that. And that's probably been our biggest challenge. And also, you know, making sure that you're making the right decision for Penn State long term. Because the easy thing would have been to pull everybody's red shirt and just play everybody, but we didn't feel like that was the right decision long term. I think the biggest thing was the reps for the young guys that you get in the first half. Those guys that have been on the scout team pretty much the entire year, working them back in. There were a lot of those guys were in scout team meetings and not on offense and defensive meetings, so getting them the meeting time, getting them the work and practice, I think was really important. I think for our team, probably the biggest difference, the travel team, the guys that will play in the game, is having our offensive line together now for the last couple weeks of the season in the same position. As the guys that have been covering Penn State all year long know that we had guys that were playing 3 different positions, because we really had 6 or 7 guys that had to back up every position. So allowing guys to stay in the same spot, get a lot of really good footwork and working together, and the communication and the chemistry has been important. That's probably the position I've seen probably make the biggest steps over the last couple weeks in the bowl prep has been really important for that. Yeah, that's a great question. I think well. I think it's different though. I mean, Penn State's a place where we had the same coach for 100 years. And we have tremendous respect for our history and our past, but I can't be anybody but James Franklin. And I think I'm probably very different in a lot of ways than the last 2 coaches that sat in this role. And I hope either we already have shown our respect and our pride of being here and how we're going to do the job. And if it hasn't happened already, that I hope it's happening over time, that we're building and earning everybody's trust and respect, because this is a very, very important position in Penn State and our community. I know how much it means to everybody. But you got a coach and you got a coaching staff here that understands that and is just as proud to be here and represent the community as anybody else. So it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and every single day we wake up trying to represent Penn State the right way. We talk about doing a back handspring out of bed every single day, carpe diem, seize the day with everything we have. That's academically, that's athletically, that's socially, that's spiritually, the whole package. I believe that every single person I meet is a Penn State fan. And if they're not, by the time I get done talking, they should be. So we're just going to keep approaching it that way. And I believe over the long haul, we'll have everybody pulling the rope in the same direction. And that's what's in Penn State's best interest as a whole, the university as a whole, the athletic department, and then specifically the football program. So.
What I learned with our team was that we took no solace in being close in that game. We went down to win it, and we're going to go down and win it in the future. And that's shared philosophy by myself, my staff, and my football program, that we play, we're going to walk on that field, and we're going to go after whoever we're playing. And we go out there to win the game. And I had the greatest feeling walking out of that locker room knowing that that's exactly how everyone in that room felt.
A great question. We took Ohio State to overtime. Same thing. It's not good enough. There are no moral victories, but I do think it illustrates how close we are. The other thing that was really obvious to me is that was a great example of when Penn State comes together. All of us, the fans, the alumni, the former players, the current players, the coaches, the administration. That was a home game for us. That was a whiteout. It was an electric environment. And it was a special night. And I know moving forward where we're going and how close we are. But just like Coach Dazio was saying, there are no moral victories. It's about not just playing those type of opponents, but finding a way to be successful consistently is what we're trying to do.